everyone, hope you all are well. I'm starting out today by priming the eye area with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm adding a few swipes of this across the eye area, and then I'm using the fluffy end of this double-ended brush that came in one of the Urban Decay palettes, and I'm using this just to blend that primer into the skin. And the primer is just going to allow our shadows to apply and blend nice and easily and last all day long too. I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Gold eyeshadow palette again today. The first shade I'm taking is called Rolling in Dough, and it's a very light matte beige shade, and I'm using this to set the primer in place. So I'm usually asked about this. I don't tend to set the primer because it's tacky enough to help the shadow grip to the eyes, but not too tacky in that it'll cause the eyeshadows to skip or go patchy. But if you do like to apply a powder over the top, you can, of course, and it'll just give you a nice smooth base to start out on. So next then I'm taking the shade So Bougie. It's a nice light warmish brown shade with a matte finish to it, and I'm starting off by adding this into the crease of the eye with a fluffy crown brush crease brush. So I'm just using circular motions and windshield wiper motions, just rocking this colour back and forward in the crease just to add a light layer of this shade, and this is going to act then as our transition shade. So to deepen things up now, I am taking the shade Cocoa Truffle. This is a deeper brown and it has a matte finish to it also. So I'm taking this up on a smaller fluffy brush. This is just the Sedona Lace EB09 Universal Blending Brush. I've tapped this down on the outer third of the eye, and now I'm lightly buffing this up to and across into the crease of the eye, just overlapping it with that previous shade, but not covering it up entirely. And what I love about this palette is that you can layer these two shadows together and then pair them with any other colour in the palette, pop any other colour on the lid, and you have a different look entirely each time. So now I'm taking that black eyeshadow on a small tapered blending brush. I'm holding my brush kind of nearly at the bottom of the handle to help give me a really nice soft blend to the shadow. So I'm sweeping this in at the lash line on the outer third of the eye, curving it up to the crease. And with this brush, I'm just keeping this mainly to the outer portion of the eye, so just swirling it around there, going from lash line up and into the crease, kind of making a bit of a C shape with this shade. I'm going back in now with that Sedona Lace eyeshadow brush. I haven't picked up any more eyeshadow on the brush, but I am going over the edge of that black, just where it meets the brown tones, and I'm giving it a really good blend. And I'm using this brush then to just pull the shadow across further into the crease. So next then I'm taking the shade Drippin' Diamonds. This is a really vibrant metallic silver shade. And I've sprayed my brush, my flat C-shaped brush, with some water, and now I'm patting and sweeping the shadow onto the lid. It's a fab eyeshadow. It's one of my favourites in the palette. The formula is just amazing. It's like a liquid metal going on the lid. It's just fab. So I'm pulling this around halfway across the eyelid, and then I'm moving back to my palette, and I'm taking up some of that Rich Girl shade. It's kind of like a taupe gold glittery shadow. So I flip my C-shaped brush around, and I'm just patting and wriggling this down now in the middle of the silver and black shade, wriggling it right down the centre just to add another layer of dimension to the look. So after applying those shadows, I did feel that I had lost a little bit of the intensity of that black, which is fine, it happens. So what I'm doing now is just adding another light layer, framing those shimmery tones, making like a C shape on that outer portion of the eye once again. And then I'm taking the Sedona Lace brush, and I'm running this back over the crease and pulling that black further into the crease like before. And I'm really nearly kind of over blending with this look. I don't mind if the shimmery particles end up in the crease. I actually quite like the effect of it, and I just think it's a really nice shimmery look for summer. Now I'm taking an old angled brush from Vanity Planet and some more of that black eyeshadow, and I'm pressing this along the lash line from outer to inner corner, just densifying that lash line, and this will also just help to conceal the band of lashes that I'll be applying in a few moments time. So I'm just repeating those steps now down along the lower lash line. I'm just taking this smudger end of an Urban Decay brush, and I'm applying that So Bougie shade down along there first, and then I'm going in with a touch more of that Cocoa Truffle shade, sweeping that down along there, and then finally I'm picking up some of that black eyeshadow on a Sedona Lace C-shaped brush and placing this kind of underneath my lashes, and then I'm just wriggling it in at that lash line to add a light dusting of that black eyeshadow there. Next then, I'm taking this cake liner from KBD Beauty. I'm placing the eyeliner on my waterline and then I'm closing my eye around the pencil, running this back and forward inside the eye to coat both the top and bottom waterline at the same time. It's a handy way of doing it if your eyes tend to water up like mine. We don't want any tears spilling out at this stage and smudging the makeup. So I'm applying a pair of the Kiss Page Boy lashes again, and then I'm reaching for my much loved Lancome Eyeshadow mascara, adding a few coats of this to the bottom lashes and also to my own natural lashes, pulling them up and blending them in with the false ones so they all fade nicely into one another. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and found it helpful, and I'll catch you all really soon.